see if we can use salt to cool down ice and freeze these ingredients, salt, milk, and vanilla, into an ice cream-like substance. To test this, we are going to add salt to the ice and then put it with these ingredients and see if it will freeze.
We think if we put ice and salt in a bag, it'll freeze and all the ice cream ingredients and make it an ice cream substance. And if we put more salt in, it'll speed up the freezing time.
Okay, so the materials are salt, sugar, milk, vanilla extract, ice, a bowl, scissors, 2 resealable bags, 1 gallon size and 1 quart size, and the measuring utensils.
Right, so first put milk, half a cup of milk in the bag.
You open the bag. Okay, and second, you add 2 tablespoons of salt. Want to do that? Let's do those. Of sugar into the same bag. The last thing that goes into this is half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, so then you seal the bag and get the gallon size bag. You open the bag and add the 2 bowls of ice. Then 6 tablespoons of table salt. It's a long time to have it. Okay, so then you take the smaller bag that's already sealed, put it inside the gallon size bag, and seal the gallon size bag. Do that. When it's all sealed up, you have to shake the bag for 7 to 10 minutes. So we're going to shake it for 10 minutes. Okay, now, that was 10 minutes of shaking, so you open up the gallon size bag, take out the quart size bag, then you cut a hole in the bottom corner, and you just gotta like squeeze the ice cream out. That's good. Okay. So, as you can see, it did make ice cream. So the reason that this happens is because when the salt comes into contact with the water or ice, it splits up into the 2 compound elements that make it up, which is Na and Cl. And one is a positive and one is a negative, and that creates a charge. So it pulls at the single water molecules, making movement, which is called kinetic energy, and that's measured in temperature. Because this heat has to come from somewhere, it takes it from the surrounding objects. In this case was the bag and the liquids or ingredients, which is why I made ice cream and the bag got really cold.
We're going to put double the salt in and shake it for half the time and see if it speeds up the freezing
process. Go. So this is the this is the bag, and it has 12 tablespoons of salt in it, and we have just shaken it for 5 minutes, so only half the time, but double the salt. And we're gonna see if it's just as frozen. So then we're just gonna cut a hole in the bottom of the bag.
Oops. I'm doing it and just want to squeeze.
Just kind of squeeze all of it out. You gotta just get a spoon out. Okay, so as you can see there, it is solid. So the more salt you use, the more frozen it will be, but it still keeps the taste because none of the salt touches it. So if you want to freeze it quickly, you can just add more salt. And what we have observed during this project is that we can use salt to reduce the base temperature of ice, and even though it's out of the freezer, it can freeze a liquid into a solid. When we use more salt, it did reduce the time it took to freeze the liquids, because when we doubled the amount of salt and sugar for half the time, they were still of the same form. Like they're both the same like amount of like solidity. They're both really solid. And yeah.
So in conclusion, using ice and salt to freeze ice cream ingredients works, and if you put double the salt in and shake it for half the time, it also works.